Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I'm once again going to answer your questions, such as what is the future of the Federico Talks Watches channel, and Rolex Cermit versus Hulk. What do I think? All that and more in today's episode. But of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. I'm still wearing the Messina Lab Uniracer, this beautiful vintage-inspired watch. I don't know. I find it extremely charming. They only made a couple hundred of them. I still think they're available. I'm not sure. You guys are going to have to Google it. And also, guys, a bunch of new watches in stock. We just got in a newly released Rolex Oyster Perpetual Black on the site. We got a JLC Reverso Duo Face in the large size and a vintage Datejust with one of the most beautiful kind of gray dials I've ever seen. It's also a Sigma dial. All that and more at delraywatch.com. Link in the description below. Anyway, guys, let's get right into it. All right, the first question is actually from a friend in real life, 10x Sean, and he says, what does the future of the channel look like over the next year? Keep up the great work. Well, thanks so much, Sean. To be honest, I've been struggling a little bit to make content as things ramp up here at Delray Watch. I'm going to keep doing it for the foreseeable future, at the very least the next year. And we are getting a new office again, and we'll have a dedicated YouTube set because this is actually quite a small space and it doesn't have great lighting, doesn't have great soundproofing. We got to upgrade the camera. So I don't know if it's going to happen, probably in a year. That's about right. But honestly, I'm just trying to keep my head above water and still keep making content. And I'll keep making it as long as you guys keep watching it. Hanzo6969. How do you feel about Rado, specifically the Captain Cook? Rado, I hate their ceramic watches. Not that they're not good watches, they just remind me of dated 1990s looking watches. However, their Captain Cook is very handsome. I love that the logo spins. I love the vintage inspired look of them. Pre-owned, they should be able to get one around $1,000 is my guess. I don't know. I think you can do a lot worse. The Captain Cook is a really handsome watch powered by an ETA/Sellita workhorse, which is perfect for a dive watch. TBF Watch Obsessed. Hey Fed, love the show, brother. Thanks, man. Are there any watches you would love to see next year from the brands? My ask would be Tudor release a GMT in black, in the Black Bay 58 series. I don't really think about what I'd like to see because so many things just get released. But honestly, talking about Tudor, I'd love to see a Black Bay GMT like the Pepsi like they have now, but I just didn't like that they didn't use the gilt markers. I love the gilt markers from the normal Black Bay, and they used the silver markers on this one, which I think makes the watch look a little bland. So it's a tiny change, but I'd love to see a Black Bay GMT with the gilt markers. Ryan_Carl. Hey Fed, how do you think JLC and Cartier stack up against each other? Would you prefer collection privé to some of the higher end JLCs? Well, JLC is more of a watchmaker, Cartier is more of a designer. I have a love for both, even though I used to work for Cartier, so my love is quite strong with them. I think Reverso is probably one of the coolest watches ever made, and I find it highly underappreciated. And yeah, while it is iconic, not enough people own Reversos. I love them. But the Cartier Collection Privée is another level. It's a collection that Cartier no longer makes of super high-end watches. I mean, Journe made movements for Collection Privée. A lot of high-end watchmakers made them, and it was the best Cartier could offer. And they were made in limited quantities and only sold in limited boutiques. Unfortunately, that stopped in the early 2000s. But a Collection Privée Cartier for me is like a dream piece. They're not particularly that expensive nowadays either. Chrono_24. Hey Federico, love your show. Your thoughts on the Rolex Hulk versus the Cermit Starbucks? Which will be a better value? Should I get the Hulk or wait for my... See, here's the thing. I don't like... Okay, let me start by saying I own a Hulk, so I might be biased, but I don't like the Cermit or the Starbucks, whatever you want to call it. It's a less special Hulk. You took away the green dial. Okay, it's a green bezel, I get it, but you took away half of what made it special, and the new case is really not all that much different. I think, already the Cermits, yes, they're selling close to double retail, but that's less than the Pepsi when it came out. That's less than the Batman when it came out. I think while it's always going to be a hot watch, it's never going to hit the demand of the Hulk, and I'm never going to call it a flop, but essentially, meh on the Cermit. Get what you like, but honestly, to me, it's just basically a half-ass Hulk. Once again, I own it though. Of the Hulk, not the Cermit. Jenny L. Fellow YouTuber. Jenny, thanks for taking the time for asking a question. Hi. What watch case do you like best? Now, I imagine Jenny means like a case of the watch as opposed to like a watch box. This one's really tough. But honestly, and yes, I'm a fanboy. The Moser Endeavor case with its sumptuous lines and curves, I'll see if I can find a picture and put it up here, is the absolute best in my opinion. It's got flowing lines, it's comfortable. Yes, it's a little big, but I'm a big guy. So for me, that works quite well. I think that is the best case in the watch business right now. Then last but not least, Gil_IT. Hey Fed, your opinion on the Breitling Super Ocean Heritage 57 Rainbow. Future classic, a good investment. Thanks for the nice content, by the way. Thanks, Gil. Well, yeah, this watch skyrocketed. It's one of the, I don't like using investments in watches, but it's one of the few, if not only, good Breitling modern investment out there. It's just a cool dial. The watch is not particularly special anyway, no special movement, but the dial's interesting. It's made in a limited edition quantity. It's sold out almost immediately, and people are going to want to go for that dial. Now, is it going to shoot up in value like crazy? No, I don't think so, but double retail? Yeah, I think it'll hit it even more. I haven't even looked up the market price. But ultimately, if you bought one at retail, you did well. Is it going to be an uber collectible in the future? I don't think so, but still a very handsome watch. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. Please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.